2024 has the task to assist the provincial the auditor of the PCW, the former presidential commissioner for the urban poor, Ms. Joy Harabello, will introduce our keynote speaker.
Hello everybody! Good day to everyone! Our guest speaker today is of a rare breed. In a world where courage and bravery are monopolized by men, she came to challenge and continue. Where a few had started and many had left, where others bowed down to intense pressure, she stood firm, unwavering. She is a living proof that true courage is forged through adversity. She rose from humble beginnings to become the country's first ever female Chief Justice in 2012. She attended public, elementary, and high school, then pursued higher education through scholarships. She graduated valedictorian from the UP College of Law in 1984 and holds a Master's of Law degree specializing in law and economics and in international trade law from the University of Michigan. She was a law professor at the UP for nearly 20 years, and the World Trade Organization recognized her stellar credentials with her 1998 appointment as counselor of their appellate body in Geneva, Switzerland. She was also involved in a successful international litigation as co-counsel for the Republic of the Philippines and was AIM's executive director for their policy center. With her modernizing outlook and firm belief in the power of technology, she co-founded a corporation that developed the first annotated electronic research system in Philippine law. Her tenure as Chief Justice is marked by far-reaching reforms, including e-courts, automated hearings, case decongestion, continuous trials, and expanded small claims courts. At the heart of her reform program is the strong conviction that justice and the law's protection should be accessible and responsive to the most vulnerable Filipinos. Because she was a staunch defender of judicial independence, she was subjected to intense persecution. Now, she is a major voice for people-centered change in Philippine society. She is an advocate for respect for the dignity of every Filipino, integrity in public service, and just governance. Friends and countrywomen, my honor to introduce the great woman among us, Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno.
Magandang umaga, mga Negrosanon, especially the women who are in this audience today. A very, very warm thank you and hello to all of you. Salamat po, no? Nakakatuwa po, kapatid, yung introduction mo. Salamat at sinishare mo kung ano mga nangyari. What a woman, Chief Justice, tried to do when she was in the Supreme Court. Thank you for that humbling introduction. And it is my pleasure to be here with you today. And I would like to especially acknowledge our very dynamic governor, Governor Eugenio Bong Lacson, the chair of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan Committee on Women, Rita Gatuslao. May I also acknowledge the chair of the Provincial Council for Women, Attorney Andrea C., and her vice chair, Mary Ann Colmenares, Annalisa Soriano, Vice Mayor of the Municipality of Kawayan and an advisor of the Provincial Council of Women, Merly Garcia, thank you for your warm words of advice. Mary June Castro, Tina Basa, and all the other hosts and those who have been taking part in this program. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay kayong lahat. So, binigyan po ako ngayon ng napakabigat na trabaho upang pag-usapan kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng women empowerment at anong ibig sabihin ng women safe spaces at anong kailangan upang umunlad ang bansa natin. My role, according to those who invited me, is not to just talk about Negros women because it is hands down masyadong maliwanag na ang dynamic ng mga taga Negros na mga kababaihan. So hindi na po natin masyadong ididiin yung puntos na yon kasi kilala naman po ng mga taga Negros ang kagalingan ng mga kababaihan ng Negros Occidental, lalong-lalo na. Ngunit ang kailangan ko pong gawin, what I need to do is how to connect your dreams as the women of Negros Occidental to the task of nation building, and in particular to the concept of creating safe spaces. So allow me to talk about adopting more aspects. Hindi ho lahat, kasi hindi ho kayang kuhain lahat ng aspeto ng women's views on creating safe spaces. And allow me to have a more holistic view of safe spaces other than the technical view that is provided in the law right now. What I want is to elevate and expand our views far more than what the Safe Spaces Act has been telling us to do, which is the freedom, which is basically asking the question rather of paano ba magiging safe ang Pilipinas. And for this particular morning, I'd like to change a bit the paradigm with which we are talking about safety. Kasi yung Safe Spaces Act, tatanggalin yung discrimination, yung pambubuli, yung catcalling, yung sexist remarks, yung sexual harassment. Pero sa akin, ganito po ang, why don't we look at it from another point of view? It is not the absence of fear, danger, risk, or lack, although it is a good social policy na bawasan ang mga ito. Because that's an impossibility. From the moment we are born, we face danger, risk, or lack. And although policymakers try to make it more comfortable for all of us, especially women, still, even if they put in the best thought out law, we are still not exempted from the fear, danger, risk, or lack from that situation simply because we are human. But rather, may I ask you to look at this concept? Okay. What I want you to look at is that safety, yung safety po, yung kaligtasan na pinag-uusapan sa Kongreso ng Provincial Council of Women. Pwede po ba nating tingnan that safety is the assurance that we are in a good place? Ibig sabihin po, kahit ano pang circumstances natin, mahusay ang kinalalagyan natin. Where we should be. That we are who we should be. That we are striving for what we should be. Because life is never constant, but it is always dynamic. Laging gumagalaw. So, kung tama ang direksyon, tama ang pagkakakilala natin at ang pagiging ako o tayo, no? Magkakasamang mga babae, ay akma. Correct naman kasi ang direksyon natin at proper ang ating or appropriate ang ating pagkakakilala sa identity natin, we have a significant degree of safety because yung kinalalagyan natin at kung sino tayo, yung awareness natin ay mas nakadikit tayo sa essence o buod natin. I hope this is making sense for all of us, especially yung mga nanay who are very worried about the question of nalilito ba ang mga anak nila, kung sino sila, kung anong identity nila, kung anong tingin sa kanila ng pamilya nila, ng Diyos, ng lipunan. It is when everything is integrated. There is more integration that there is safety. Kasi malinaw po kung kilala nyo kung sino kayo, kahit anong mangyayari, kahit anong pagdaanan nyo, kaya po. Now, ang ating question next, that may apply to those of us, individuals, na malinaw sa atin kung sino tayo. Pero paano po kung halimbawa, we are talking about a society? Hindi lang yung sarili nating safety, kundi yung safety ng buong bansa. Kasi ang tema nyo, paano ididikit ang women empowerment at ang pag-ambag nyo sa pagbuo ng isang lipunan o isang bayan. No? Ito po ang nakita kong ginawa ng konstitusyon. Ang ginawa ng konstitusyon, nag-attempt siya na i-drawing ang outline ng safety. At nakikita po yon sa preambolo ng Constitution at sa iba pang mga provisions ng Constitution, where in the preamble, a just and humane society is the highest social goal. Ibig sabihin, nagkasundo-sundo ang mga Pilipino that in coming together as a people, we are going to enshrine the highest goal of building a just and humane society. And in trying to do that, we are trying to find out if the values of truth, justice, love, freedom, peace, and equality. Yun pong ginawa ng Constitution, and I will explain that later. And then, nag-define din ng Constitution kung sino ang dapat must i-ensure na safe. The Constitution tried to define or enumerate those who are, in the view of the drafters and the people who ratified it, are vulnerable. Ito po yung children and youth, women, elderly, disabled, the indigenous groups, poverty-stricken sectors, in general term na poor, small farmers, small fishermen, small businesses and business people, and labor, especially unorganized labor and informal sectors. When the Constitution tried to define that, doon po sila nagkaroon ng attempt to target safety. So, focus po tayo. Para po tayo magka-create ng safe society, ang goal po natin pala ay pag-build ng just and humane society. Okay. Okay, so yan po, no? Okay, nandyan na tayo. Alright, so dun tayo sa next slide ko po, no? Kasi kung papansinin nyo po, habang tayo ay nagtratry na mag-build up ng justice at humane-ness, ibig sabihin yung katarungan at pagiging makatao sa lipunan, the more we feel safe. Bakit po? Pag mas malaki ang presence ng justice, mayroon po tayong siguradong matatakbuhan kapag inaapi. At pag nagkakaroon ng conflict sa society o komunikasyon na basic sa society, alam po natin na pag malakas ang pagiging humane, ay makatao at hindi malupit ang pagtrato natin sa isa't isa. Kasi mas positive at goal-oriented tayo, mas nababawasan yung ating mga negatives. Ayun po, no? So we will now go to the next slide po, no? Pero, pag pinag-iisipan natin, hindi naman talaga naging just and humane ang Philippine society. Kayo po mismo sa Negros Occidental, ang dami-dami nyo pong nadaanang massacre situations, panggigipit. Kung ganun po, bakit hindi natin ever naabot ang pagiging totoong safe? Why? Ang tingin ko po, kasi hindi natin ever tiningnan yung social goal na inarticulate natin para sa sarili natin. Hindi po tayo nag-uusap at all. Paano ba maka-establish ng just and humane society? No, hindi natin tinake seriously na ang social qualities or ang virtues na truth, justice, freedom, love, peace, and equality, hindi natin isinapuso. Agree po ba kayo sa ganong point, no? Kasi pag tingnan nyo po for a few minutes, I will try to visualize for you yung next slide kung saan nandun yung drawing ng power structure. At ididikit natin yung drawing na ito ng power structure sa concept ng just and humane society. So next slide na po tayo, no? So dun sa next slide natin, ito po, no? Okay. Yung pinapakita po natin ay ang Diyos ang nasa taas. Nasaan po ito? Nasa preamble. We, the sovereign Filipino people, tayo pong lahat, imploring the aid of Almighty God. So, mas mataas ang Diyos kasi humihingi nga tayo ng tulong. Rine-recognize natin na personal at almighty ang God. Tapos, sabi natin, in order, tayo po, no? To build, tayo ang magbibuild ng just and humane society. So, anong highest social goal natin is a just and humane society. Tapos marami pang mga phrases na dapat independent tayo, dapat democratic tayo, at mayroong rule of law. Pero ito ang gusto kong ilagay ng mga virtues na makakatulong sa pag-pursue ng just and humane society. Na dapat daw, according to the preamble, we must be governed by a regime of truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, and peace. Di po ba? Yun ang kailangan nating tingnan po. So, kung ganun po pala na tayo mismo, then the Negrosanons, especially the sovereign Negrense women, must really push for the creation of that just and humane society and must take the lead. At itong nasa baba po, no, na nandito pong mga boxes, it emphasizes na ang mga political leaders, which are in the legislative branch or in the executive branch, and the judges, who are in the judicial branch, and all other government officials are but servants of the people. They're but public servants. The power remains in the people, at ang powers ng government and every government official is but temporary. Lahat ng tumatakbo sa political office, temporary lang yan. We're just going to give them a term of office, 3 years or 6 years. Lahat ng appointees sa ibang branches at sa ibang offices, temporary lang yan. Meron silang compulsory term of office. And kung halimbawa, hindi nila gagawin ang kanilang trabaho, hindi sila tumutulong sa pag-build ng just and humane society, we, the women of the province of Negros Occidental, must take them into account. Bakit kayo hindi tumutulong upang itayo ang just and humane society and end their term of office? There is the role on the part of us women and the taong bayan in general to hold all public servants to account. Yun po ang basic concept natin. Kasi kung hindi natin gagawing goal-oriented ang ating mga galaw sa lipunan, mas malilito po tayo. We will be locked into a thinking na it's the absence of, which is our safety, instead of it is progressing towards a high goal, which is our safety. So ang next challenge ko po sa inyo, then can women make the safety goal of a just and humane society its leadership goal? Specifically, pasensya na po, can the Provincial Council of Women and can the Sangguniang Lalawigan Committee on Women propose that for the province of Negros Occidental, it will show its leadership in building a just and humane society with the virtues of justice, truth, peace, love, freedom, and equality. Ang tingin ko po ang sagot dyan, definitely, yes. Siyempre po, wala namang kaduda-duda na yan talaga ang dapat at kakayanan ng mga kababaihan, especially for this audience, the province of Negros Occidental. Kasi napatunayan nyo na po time and again yan. Hindi ko na ho kailangang enumerate from the time of our forefathers dreamt of a Filipinas that was free of Spanish colonial rule to the time that Filipinos, men and women alike, built their own constitutional republic and fought against the new occupiers, the Americans, to the time that Filipino women fought against the Japanese new occupiers. Malinaw po na talagang ang laki ng ambag ng mga kababaihan, katapangan nila at kagalingan sa pagpanday ng ating bansa. And it is so clear to us that from the time that we tried to forge a conversation again, after martial law, women have been in the lead. We have had 2 women leaders. But we are basically saying, by the fact that you're coming together, kulang pa. Dagdagan pa natin. So ito po, ng next slide ko, ipopost ko po ang challenge sa atin kasi nakikita ko po itong mga phenomenon na ito. Hindi po ba ang galing-galing mag-build ng peace at ng community ang mga kababaihan? My own personal experience here in Negros is that your women have been contributing. For example, my NGO, the movement that I lead is a beneficiary of your Mingo Meals. I am collaborating with many of your women leaders in talking about a national development framework. You have gone through a lot. Remember in the 1970s, in the 1980s, when malnutrition here in your region reached its peak to as much as 70% of your children. But you did not let that dark part of your history put you down, but rather you are now leading in trying to even stop malnutrition in many poor communities across the nation. You have also built so many NGOs that have created livelihood programs for the poor. You have been at the forefront of building charitable institutions. Kayo po ang nangunguna at nakikita ko ang dami, hindi ko na kayang enumerate ngayon kasi kilala nyo naman sino kayo. Kayo, kung wala po kayo at asa lang tayo sa gobyerno, kawawa po ang mga Pilipino. Instead, your NGOs, you, Negrense women, have been leading in many of these initiatives. You have also started having peace initiatives in villages, tribes, and other conflict situations. I remember po maraming stories, especially in Mindanao, where the women leaders in villages told the men, if you don't stop fighting, if you don't enter the peace table, we will not have cordial relations with you, even in our own household. We will keep on telling you, go and seek peace, go and seek peace, go and seek peace. So even our babaylans, even our village elder women, have been at the forefront of talking to the people to show them the value of peace. And when our country, including your area, have been hit by disaster, such as yung mga typhoon, I remember sobrang grabe nun in my mind. I could see in my mind the picture of Typhoon Frank. And then when I visited Bacolod, parang wala. Parang you were able to get over that and build up better. Ang ganda-ganda ng ginagawa nyo. Even though you had been hit badly, kaya nyong bumangon. So nauuna kayo sa disaster relief, nauuna kayo sa hunger relief, at you are helping all your communities to rebuild better. Kaya ang galing-galing nyo po, peace and community builders kayo. Kaya nga dito sa aking next slide, I want to emphasize, just imagine, no? Yung leadership nyo, marami sa inyo nagpapatakbo ng educational institutions. Marami sa inyo nagbibigay ng child care and youth care systems. Mga babae nagpapalaganap nito. You have been putting up a lot of rehabilitation centers and programs para doon sa mga naabuso, ng domestic violence, ng mga trauma, ng crimes. You are there at the forefront. Maraming medical programs being led by women, and our women doctors continue to be the dynamic leaders of their different fields of specialization, including general and public health care. And hindi ko pwedeng escape ang ideyang ito na many nationalist and democracy struggles have been called by women, including many NGOs right now who are fighting, for example, authoritarian tendencies of government. Okay po. So magaling talaga ka. Ang mga babaeng Pilipina, masyadong magaling ang mga Negrense women. Clear na clear yon sa akin na ang history ng bansa natin ay hindi magiging forged na ganitong kaganda kung wala ang contribution ng mga kababaihan from Negros Occidental. But I want us to think deeply about these things. Bakit po kaya? Bakit po parang feeling proud tayo na mayroong ganitong klaseng unique contribution ang mga babae na parang nablablank nila, napipigilan nila yung karahasan, nababawasan nila yung mga sharp angles, yung masakit na pantusok ng mga siko ng mga lalaki at ang pagkabrusko ng lalaki. Ano ang kaya nating ibigay? Alam niyo po, malinaw sa marami sa inyo na ako nagre-reflect very, very deeply on the Bible and the Constitution. At ito po ang aking nakita. May special ambag po kasi ang kababaihan. Tingnan niyo po, no? Ito. Okay. So, dito na tayo sa next slide, no? Akala po ng marami na ang religion, especially ang Christian faith, ang babaeng ideal sa Christian faith ay yung mahinhin, mahiyain. Naku po, opposite. Opposite po. Basahin niyo po ang Proverbs 31, 10 to 31. Ano po ang Proverbs? Ito po ay libro sa Biblia, sa Old Testament, na sinasabi anong pinakamainam na paraan ng pagpapatakbo ng lipunan. At dahil masyado humahaba yung 21 passages na yan, hindi ko na kayang basahin. Kundi basahin niyo po, no? Anong sinasabi sa Proverbs 31? Blessed is the woman who, naku po, ang sabi doon sa Proverbs 31, nagpapatakbo ng agribusiness. Ano po? Yes, as early as 3,500 years ago. Pinupuri na. 3,500 years ago, sa Jewish thought, pinupuri na ang mga, sabi doon sa Proverbs 31 po, no? A woman considers a field and plants a vineyard on it. She rolls up her sleeves and her arms are strong. Just imagine, parang sitwasyon nyo. Kayong mga kababaihan ng Negros Occidental, sisipatin nyo yung lupa, then you will say, this is good for growing food. And then you yourself, roll up your sleeves and plant the agricultural product that you want to grow so that you can feed your community. Just imagine, the Bible has been lauding women in agribusiness. And then she says, the Bible says, from the loins, her weaving loom, yung pag-textile, no? She weaves loom and her candle does not go out at night. Ibig sabihin, maagang gumigising. Siguro yung Jewish woman na pinupuri dito, 4 a.m. pa lang gising na, at nagpapaandar na ng mga weaving loom to produce textile. And then yung na-produce na textile, trine-trade niya sa mga barko na dumadaong sa Jerusalem and exchanging it for other goods. So ang babae in the time of the Proverbs was already in trading like your business leaders. And then it says she extends her hand to her household staff and they wait for their food from her. And her children are well trained. So home builder, homemaker, nanay, at siya pa ang nag-train sa buong household staff niya. And she feeds the poor. The poor in the community bless her for she brings out help to them, giving them food and warm clothing. So sila pang mga babae 3,500 years ago, nagpapatakbo ng malalaking ng mga importante na charity work. Parang kayo. and she is a trusted confidante of her husband who is a city leader. Ibig sabihin, sabi niyo, the heart of her husband confidently trusts her. Ibig sabihin, yung mga hirap na problema ang asawa niya kasi leader sa city na appoint siguro, naatasan na maging leader, kailangan niyang konsultahin ang asawa niya kasi wise yung woman who is admired in Proverbs 31. Who is a woman to be admired? Who is a virtuous woman? Yun po ang opening ng Proverbs 31:10-31. Who is a virtuous woman? She is greatly to be treasured more than many rubies. Biruin niyo po? Then, meron po sa Bible, as early as, earlier than when the Proverbs were written, sa Judges 4:4-23. Meron pong babae, tawag sa kanya si Deborah, na wise woman na buong nation of Israel would go to her. Yung mga conflicts nila, ipapa-judge sa kanya. So she was a prophet. She would talk about what God or Yahweh was telling the city, and she would judge. So very ancient ito. It's even earlier than 3,500 years. And nung nanghina po si Barak, who was supposed to be the military leader of the nation, siya ang parang head ng military. Sabi ni Deborah, lumaban kayo. Sabi ni Barak, ayoko, kailangan sumama ka. So, naging military leader din si Deborah. Sabi ni Deborah, okay, sasama ako sa'yo. Kung ayaw mong lumusob nang hindi ako kasama, matanda na siyang babae. Pero sasabihin ko sa'yo, Barak, ang the honor of this battle will not go to you, but to a woman. Indeed, it was really a woman who killed the military general who was leading the invading forces, si Jael. So Jael, a woman, also was the one who was able to kill the military leader. So ibig sabihin, there are times iwawarn ng mga kababaihan who have the Spirit of the Lord, ang mga kalalakihan, hindi kasi kayo gumagawa ng trabaho nyo, ng inyong role, then it will be given to women. Ganda na po, ang dami-dami talagang potential natin na nakikita. Okay? Kasi, tingnan nyo po, hindi ho totoo na anti-women ang Bible. Hindi po. That's not true. It is very promotive of women. Ito ang pinakaunang nag-angat ng babae to a higher position than any other nation. Nasa Old Testament at nasa New Testament. Tingnan niyo po naman how God used the characteristics of women to talk about himself. When God was talking about his faithfulness to his people, ang ginamit niya ay ang analogy o pagkaka-exemplify ay babae. And he said, I can never forget you, my beloved, as a mother who can never forget a child. Nandun po yung kantang, nakaukit sa aking palad ang yung pangalan. Parang inukit po, God was talking about carving the flesh of his palm to write down our names because he can never forget each one of us. He can never forget a single child of his. Bawat iyak nyo, tinatandaan ng Lord pag kayo ay umiiyak sa Kanya. And then, do sa Matthew 23:37, even Jesus himself, 2,000 years ago, paano niya gustong i-save ang people of Jerusalem? Ginamit niya female characteristics. Sa Matthew 23:37, sabi niya, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, how I had wanted to embrace you as a mother hen brings her wings and put her chicks under her wings, but you would not let me. Ibig sabihin ng mother hen, ang concept ng mothering ay kayang mag-save at mag-comfort. Isi-save niya, isi-shield ni Jesus ang body niya upang bigyan ng proteksyon ang mga mahal niyang asang katauhan. I want to save all of you. I want to put you and to be safe and warm within the safety of my wings. Ayaw nyo lang kasi. Ayaw nyo lang kasi. So very prominent po na pag nag-uusap si Lord about safety, about faithfulness, about not ever forgetting the love He has for His people. Female characteristics. Female characteristics. Yung nasa sa inyo, ang ginagamit niya. So, ang tingin ko po, kailangan ng women ng safe spaces. Totoo po yun. At we should continue fighting for against misogyny, yung pambabastos, pambabalahura sa kababaihan, yung mga sexual harassment, yung mga sexual innuendos, yung hindi ka aakyat sa career mo unless you give in to the sexual favors being asked by your boss, o hindi ka bibigyan ng oportunidad. Tuloy po dating labanan to. Pero ang aking proposition, tayo po, we can create many, many more spaces for all those who are vulnerable. Yung in-enumerate ko po kanina, na in-identify ng Constitution ng mga vulnerable sectors. Ang tingin ko po, ang proposition ko, women can, in fact, should lead. Kasi sa maraming babae, marami sa kababaihan na ang meaningful life nila is only a life lived for others. Tingnan niyo po, di ba? Hanggang kaapu-apuhan natin, talagang magsasakripisyo tayo. Kahit mahina na tayo, ano pa kaya ang pwede kong gawin para sa apo ko? Yun lagi ang tanong natin eh. Hindi yung, paano ba ako pagsisilbihan ng apo ko? Hindi eh. Ano pa kaya ang pwede kong gawin para sa mga apo ko? Normatively, hindi na natin obligasyon ang mga apo natin. Pero ganun po ang ating puso, tumitibok. Normal po yun sa atin, natural. So malinaw po sa akin, ang mga babaeng Pinay ay laki-laki ng great ng capacity for self-sacrifice. Intelligent sila, creative sila, at ang tingin ko, sila ang pinakamahusay para mag-create ng safe spaces para dun sa mga sinasabi nating vulnerable sectors. Kasi kaya nilang magkalinga, uy, kumusta ka na? Kaya nilang yumapos, umiiyak ka ba? At the same time, organized ang utak ng mga babae. Nandiyan na ba? Nabili na ba yung mga pinamalengke? May pagkain para bukas? Magkano ang budget? 1 week? 1 month? Kailangan pa tayo mag-raise ng mga donations kasi kukulangin tayo. Ikaw, Minda, punta ka doon sa ganyan na tumulong ka sa barangay. I-allocate na natin ngayon. Ano ang mga barangay na ating aasikasuhin ngayon? Magaling ang mga babae, instinctive yun. Siguro kasi train tayo, bata pa tayo, ganun na ang ating orientation eh. Kailangan gawin lahat ng assignment, kailangan o 98 lahat ng grado sa ating card sa eskwelahan. Pero pagdating sa bahay, kailangan tayo magsaing, kailangan mag-alaga sa mga bata, kailangan magwalis, kailangan mag-ayos ng mga kwarto. Sinasabay-sabay natin yan. Kaya natin yan. Kaya ang lakas-lakas pa, even though our hands are working at ang mouth natin nagsasalita, nagbibigay ng instructions, yung puso natin lagi rin tumitibok. Ay nako, umiiyak si Itoy. Ay nako, nakakaawa naman yung iho na parang kawawa naman yung magtataho, nasunugan. Tulungan natin. Yung empathetic at listening side ng babae is very strong. Kasi ang dami sa ating require from our youth. Yung pala, even in the Bible, recognize na yun, na may wiring ang karamihan ng babae na ganito. So we provide aside to the building of a just and humane society that's very strong from us. At malinaw naman po, pati nung ako'y nagtuturo ng batas, mas maraming babaeng mas masipag kaysa sa mga lalaking mga estudyante ko. Pasensya na po, yun ang katotohanan. Kaya nga, ito po ang aking proposition. Ngayong hirap na hirap ang sitwasyon ngayon sa pandemya, we need more women. Mas maraming babaeng tutulong sa pandemya, mas mabuti. Kaya yung military-oriented attention to the pandemic is, I think, wrong. We should have health workers, we should have trauma workers, we should have community organizers. Sila ang dapat na malakas na boses sa task force at hindi parang dominated ng mga lalaki that do not understand the need of human nature for continued assurance, gentleness, and care. Tingnan niyo po, kasi ang pandemya is a pinagsabay na health and safety issue. So kailangan ng care, kailangan na organized ng itong care na ito. Kasi medical care ito, magaling ang babae sa ganun. Filipino women and mothers, kaya po nilang i-build yung transition from lockdown isolation to a more normal life. Di ba po, yung mga anak natin, napapadala na natin, halimbawa, sa Maynila o sa Amerika, for further studies. Sa atin tumatakbo at yayapos. And then, sino ang nagbibigay ng assurance sa kanila that everything will be all right? Nanay, kaya nating magbigay ng transition, guidance, and care, emotional strength to our people who need help transitioning from this very, very traumatic lockdown to a more normal life. And kaya ng mga babaeng mag-nurture ng emotional needs and traumas that have been inflicted on our people. Kaya ayan po, no? Anong tingin ko po? Ito po ang call ko. We can increase more safe spaces for the more vulnerable. And even while women are themselves vulnerable, they can be the ones who can lead more spaces, safe spaces in Philippine society. Towards what? What is our safety goal? A just and humane society. So my call is, let more women lead. At nakakatuwa po, mabuhay po ang women of the province of Negros Occidental. Mabuhay po ang mga kababaihan dito sa inyong rehiyon, Region 6, at ang mga kababaihan sa buong Pilipinas. Let more women lead. God bless you, and thank you very much. You can contact me dito po individually for all your initiatives or questions. Sumasagot po ako dito sa aking Facebook page, Twitter page, at Instagram. At din po, kung meron kayong gustong malaman kung ano mga pinagagawa namin ngayon, especially na pinag-uusapan na po ang voters education, ito po ang aking email address for which you can ask all questions about our activities. Andyan po, naka-flash na yan sa screen. Maraming salamat po. Thank you, and to God be all the glory.
Please stay in our virtual stage, CJ Sereno. Again, thank you very much to our former Supreme Court Chief Justice, Maria Lourdes Sereno, for sharing her precious time with us and for your very beautiful and compelling message, especially for the women and the GAD advocates of Negros Occidental. According to you, CJ Sereno, it is pertinent to articulate our social goal, which is to establish just and humane society. So that's a definite yes for making safety and peace building as our leadership goals. And right, we know that usually there is no open forum session or Q&A after the keynote speaker, but we would love to have an interaction with you since this is such a very rare moment and also a rare opportunity for us Negrenses to converse with our former Chief Justice. Thank you. So we have seen some, or we would like to encourage our virtual audience and participants, women leaders and GAD advocates who are joining with us this morning to kindly type or comment your questions. If you have any questions or clarifications to CJ Sereno, please do it in our comment section.
Salamat, ha? Thank you
Yes.
very much. I'm ready for your questions.
Yes, CJ, and your last topic talking about peace building in the country and the community is so much in line with the celebration of the National Peace Building Month.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So at this point, we do not have any comments yet in our comment section. May we ask our facilitators and some of our technical assistants to help us collect and collate questions coming from our virtual audience. Okay, so perhaps we could hear some questions. Okay, we have here, CJ, we have now, can we ask this question? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right. So I think attorney Andrea C would like to ask and very much curious to know this one. If CJ Sereno is running for the 2022 elections.
Yeah, okay. Tapos why or why not pa, no? Don?
Yes. Thank you for adding that up. Yes, CJ.
Okay. Are you running for the 2022 elections? Why not? Ang 2022 elections will determine a lot in our country, no? Nakita ko, for example, when Region 6, nakita ko, siningle out kayo eh. And it pains me, nasasaktan ako when, because I know and I have been to your province and the other provinces of Region 6, napakalaki ng hanga ko sa ability nyo to build consensus, no? So when you were being singled out na yung mga projects nyo daw product of corruption, na kayo daw yung mga political leadership nyo daw ay involved sa drugs, alam ko namang hindi. Na masakit sa akin yun, no? Kasi Filipino na proud ako sa mga accomplishments nyo sa Region 6. Bakit ipapabagsak ang imahe nyo sa buong mundo samantalang pinaghirapan nyo yan? Yung maabot niya yung ganyang status. Ang hirap ng dinaanan nyo, grabe rin yung mga disasters nyo, at grabe rin yung mga insurgency problems nyo. Alam nyo kung bakit? Because I handled some of the cases when I was a justice and chief justice at the Supreme Court. I wrote some of the cases involving your region. So I can say that I think that's propaganda, political propaganda. So ang tingin ko, dapat yung mga communities who have built themselves up through their sheer self-help and through their faith in God, hard work, and discipline, dapat talaga matreat ng tama at hindi ginagamit sa politika. So 22 can reverse that decline na parang lagi na lang political propaganda ang ginawa, lagi na lang political the president is not a president of the nation, kundi yung presidente natin nang hahati-hati ng down ng iba. Sabi ko, paano tayo mayu-unite kung ganyan? So important yung 2022. Pero ang nakita ko, no, when I was Chief Justice and after I was ousted, na ang pinaka-weak link sa ating demokrasya ay ang taong bayan. You know, all those countries that enjoy the benefits of democracy, daan-daang taon ang dinaanan upang ipanday, no? Sa kaisipan ng mga tao ang kahalagahan ng bawat isa. Kasi it is respect for everyone that is the starting point of democracy. When we talk about equal protection, when we talk about human rights, when we talk about sovereign Filipino people, it must always start with the concept of the dignity of man. And when I traced the history of democracy, the dignity of man comes from the biblical concept of every man having been made in the image of God.
Yes.
Ngayon, ang karamihan ng mga Pilipino hindi aware doon. Na grabe pala ang value nila. Kaya tingnan mo karamihan ng Pilipino, minimeasure lang ang sarili nila according to ano ba ang gadgets natin. Lagi nagko-compare ng sarili sa kapitbahay. Ang daling i-manipulate kasi hindi nila nakikita yung inherent worth nila at madaling i-manipulate ng politicians kasi akala nila ang politicians hari. Malalim yun at marami yun. At kung sa politika ka lang aasa na ayusin yan, at least for this moment, Adon, hindi kaya. Kasi masyado pang weak ang concept ng Pilipino about his own worth. So ang kailangan, kung sino ang nakakaintindi ng katotohanan na ito, sisisid sa ganung problema and do everything to build up that self-confidence that comes from the knowledge of the value that he has in God and under the Constitution. Kasi under the Constitution, highly valued rin ang bawat Pilipino. Kailangan i-reverse. Yung sinasabi kong power structure, that's why I keep on showing that slide para mabago ang utak ng mga Pilipino, hindi sila alipin, kundi ang ganda-ganda ng worth at dignity nila. Hindi kaya yon sa political run. Kaya yon for an educational sustained effort na kausapin ng kausapin para maging hashtag ngayon, taong bayan naman. So hindi kaya yon kung ako'y tatakbo at the same time, habang ini-educate, habang ako'y nakipag-usap sa maraming youth groups. Kasi ang tinuturo ko is how to fight as an ordinary citizen. Ito ang mga tools natin. Ito ang equipping natin. Ito tayo. Ganito lagi ang ating message. At ang message natin, i-direct natin sa lahat ng gustong maging aplikante. Even the terms, pinapalitan ko. Lahat ng political candidates are not political candidates. Ang tawag ko sa kanila, aplikante. Para sa mga posisyon ng lingkod bayan. Kaya hindi na, sa akin, hindi sila mga talaga yung kailangang tawagay na kagalang-galang, kundi dapat idagdagan na kagalang-galang na lingkod bayan, gano'n. Yun, para lagi iulit yun. Naku, malaking trabaho yan doon. At sinong gagawa niyan? Nasa akin ang malinaw na direksyon malinaw na pangangailangan. Kung masyadong klaro sa akin, di dapat ako manguna doon. Kaya yan ang ginagawa ko. Sorry po kung hindi kayo mag-agree, pero yan ang dahilan kaya ako nagdesisyon, kahit na marami pong nagyaya sa akin na hindi ako tatakbo, hindi ako mag-a-apply para sa ganung posisyon ngayong panahon. Salamat po sa inyong concern.
That's a very insightful response, CJ Sereno. We hope to have more of these women, community, and government leaders in place, in our system.
Opo.
Yes. According to you, CJ Sereno, it is pertinent to articulate social goal to establish a just and humane society. So we are curious to know your insight about this. Do you think who would make a better president, Sarah or Lenny?
Okay. Hindi ko pa ako alam kung talagang tatakbo si Lenny. So kung sasabihin mag-a-apply si Lenny, no?
Yeah.
So kung habang hindi pa niya ginagawa yon, parang speculation. Speculation for me to talk about it. Pero malinaw sa akin, no?
Yeah.
Kahit sinong tatakbo o kahit sino mag-a-apply, ito po ang kanyang kung para sa presidente. Lahat sila, sino na po ba ang nag-announce? Si Lacson, si Pacquiao, at si sino po yung isa pa? May isa pa
Isko Moreno.
Isko Moreno, opo.
Yeah.
Okay. Naiintindihan po ba nila yung Article 7? So kayo pong mga audience, basahin niyo po yung Article 7, Section 5 ng Constitution. Mayroong meron silang sumpa doon na specific to the President and the Vice President. So, pagpapatupad ng batas, pagsiserve ng buong patriotism at loyalty, at pag-uphold ng Constitution. So, itanong po natin, paano nila ipapatunayan ang kanilang patriotism at loyalty sa taong bayan? Paano nila ipapatunayan ang kanilang honesty at integrity? Yeah. Paano nila ano ang tingin nila sa konstitusyon na kailangan nilang i-uphold at i-defend? At gaya ba ng dating si Pangulong Arroyo at ngayon si Pangulong Duterte, sila pa ang mangunguna upang ibagsak upang i-revise, yun yung kay Arroyo po, no? O pawalang bahala, which President Duterte mismo said, waste paper lang yan. Ang konstitusyon, kasi matuto na po tayo. Kung imbes na patuparin ang konstitusyon, masyado po silang ginagawa ang konstitusyon ay as a political tool for them to remain in power. Wag niyo po ever suportahan yung mga yan. So basahin natin sa bawat isang aplikante sa posisyon ng lingkod bayan ng pagiging pangulo, paano nyo tutuparin isa-isa itong oath nyo sa Article 7, Section 5. Wag ho natin palalampasin ang mga aplikante. Tayo ang employer. Sila ang humihingi ng trabaho. Tayo po dapat ang mag-set ng TOR, tayo ang mag-grill sa kanila. Di po ba pati household staff nyo, bawat isa, ini-interview nyo, tinitingnan nyo ang references. Bakit itong mga aplikante sa posisyon ng lingkod bayan hindi natin ini-interview at grini-grill? I-grill nyo po. Ang gagaling po naman mga women business leaders sa pag-grill ng mga aplikante.
Yes. Wow. So we look at them in the viewpoint that they are applicants. Okay. Thank you for those insights, CJ Sereno. And we come to our third and our last question here. What is your challenge to Filipino women in the upcoming 2022 elections?
Nahati po ang nakita ko nangyari sa mga kababaihan. Yung isang panig ng mga kababaihan, sumama ho sa pagiging balahura ng ating mga namumuno. Kung anong kabastusan na lumalabas, pinalakpakan ng mga babae. Nakakalungkot po. Kasi tayo po masyadong malinaw sa atin na kailangan i-guard natin yung moral fabric ng lipunan natin. Pagka tayo nating masira ang kinabukasan ng ating mga anak at apo. Ngunit kung nakikita nila sa telebisyon ay presidenteng nagmumura at nambabastos, tapos nakikita nila sa bahay o sa mga simbahan, mga pumapalakpak, no? Ang nakakalungkot, imbis na yung mga babae pinigilan yung ganong pagpapalakpak sa kabastusan na naririnig nila, sumama pa yung mga ibang babae. Nagpagamit pa. Sa kampanya po, nagiging sex object ang mga babae. Bakit po? Yung kalaswaan ng lalaki, ginamit, tinukoy nila, naglagay sila ng mga sexy dancers para yung mga lalaki pumunta sa political rallies at pumito na parang mga lobo ba, yung
Catcalling.
Oo, no? At magagyrate ang mga babae, lumalabas yung yung libido, yung lust ng lalaki.
Yeah.
Gamit yun, which we know hindi dapat binubuksan, inuungkat, pinapalaganap, kasi maling direksyon. Imbis na ipapatatag ang faithfulness sa bahay at ang pagkatatag ng pamilya, sinisira contrary to that direction. So, ipaalala po natin na malaking bagay ang pagtuturo ng mga babae sa tamang direksyon ng lipunan. Tayo po dapat manguna. Ito ang standards. Okay? Ang standards po, may maling katuruan nga na sinabi ko sa inyo na inakala nila pag Kristiyano ka, mahinhin ka, na hindi ka iimik. Baligtad po yun. Pag nakita niyo po ang Biblia, it's all about confidence in Christ, magsasalita ka para sa tama. At pag babae ka, yung iyong pagiging babae ay malakas na puwersa para sa mabuting pagbabago. Yun po ang itinuturo sa atin ng Diyos. At hindi ko yung maging kimika, yes ka na lang, pumayag ka sa kahit anong violence, pumayag ka sa abuse. Tinuruan po tayo ng lipunan na ganon. Push back tayo. Fight. Is that natin standard? Articulate kasi usually mga babae malakas ang verbal articulateness. Isa-isahin natin. And then pag nakikipag-usap na sila sa town hall, diretso tayo magtanong. What will keep us from asking direct questions? Sanay nga tayong magtanong ng mga direct questions sa ating mga anak yun nga sa mga ating anak, with gentleness. Pero pag public officials o kaya yung mga aplikante sa trabaho, mas tayo, mas maging parang may professional distance. Huwag mo tayo sinasabi mo, kaya mong isolve itong pandemic problem. Pero nakita namin na hindi mo pinagkakatiwalaan ang komunidad. Kasi nakita namin ito ang ginawa mo sa komunidad. Imbis na palaganapin ang pag-aambag ng lahat, tinakot mo. Tama ba yan? Ganyan pa rin bang gagawin mo? Pananakot? Yon, mga ganong. Then, ipakita nyo sa kanila na nag-research kayo, na ang sipag-sipag niyong mag-research, isa-isahin niyo yung ginawa nila in the past. Yun po ang challenge ko sa mga kababaihan, sa darating na eleksyon. Ngayon pa lang po, gawin na natin, ngayon pa lang mag-war na tayo sa lahat. Lahat kayong magpa-file ng Certificate of Candidacy, COC. Tandaan nyo, ngayon pa lang nagre-research na kami. Ngayon pa lang naglilista na kami ng marami naming tanong at hindi namin palalampasin ang pagiging peke nyo. Alam namin, pinapaandar yung mga kampanya nyo ng public relations, ng mga spin, ng media spin. Alam ko, bibili kayo ng airtime. Pero kami, hindi magpapalampas ng ganyan. Gagawin namin ang sarili naming challenge sa inyo.
Thank you for highlighting those innate character and the gentleness of women, CJ. So we have, as women, we have the moral responsibility to follow what is righteous, and the things that you have highlighted from the Bible, the Proverbs 30, that women is indeed a force to reckon.
Force talaga.
Yes. Thank you so much. We have heard the sweeping insights of Chief Justice Sereno. That was the last question. It was truly an honor to have you in this event. So let us give CJ Sereno a virtual heart, a virtual clap, and a thumbs up.
Thank you po. Maraming salamat. God bless you all. Thank you. I hope to visit you one day.
Yes po. Yes. We hope so too.
Thank you. And to all the organizers and viewers, God bless you all.
Our pleasure. Please stay, CJ. May I
Oh,
now call on the PCW Chair, Attorney Andrea Lizares C., to do the virtual awarding of certificate
okay.
for our keynote speaker.
Hello, Andrea. I see you at last.
Yes, hello, CJ. No, gosh, we really should hear more from you. Um, I hope you like the certificate. It's a flower with the petals rotating out from the center, and I think that represents what we are trying to do as women, not to be radiating the beauty and our concepts of safe space and good governance. And I really appreciated how you wove into your message our theme, no, about safe spaces. I'm amazed at how you did that. Wow. Okay, so let me read the certificate. The Province of Negros Occidental Provincial Council for Women presents this certificate of appreciation to the Honorable Maria Lourdes Sereno, former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the Philippines, for joining the women of Negros in real time, provoking thought and challenging us with their keynote speech on women and governance, thus contributing greatly to the success of the Provincial Council for Women's Mid-Year Forum, Safe Spaces para sa Negrosanon, given in the city of Bacolod this 29th day of September 2021, signed by Honorable Rita Angela Gatuslao, the chair of the SP Committee on Women, who is a member of the PCW, and myself, the chair of the Provincial Council for Women. Again, thank you so much, CJ Sereno. You'll always be CJ for us, you know.
The pleasure and honor is mine, Andrea, and I thank you. I'm deeply grateful to the women of Negros.
Mhm.
Laking utang na loob ko sa inyo. Maraming maraming salamat po kasi marami sa inyo nagdasal at tumulong sa akin sa panahon ng
Mhm.
aking kagipitan. Marami pong salamat. Hindi ko makakalimutan yon.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Attorney C, and thank you, former CJ Sereno. May I invite to our virtual stage our honorable guests and some of our PCW officers inside our virtual studio for a photo opportunity with our keynote speaker. May I call in? Yeah, Attorney C, Ma'am or Miss Colmenares, Ma'am Merly Garcia, Ma'am Joy Harabello, Board Rita Gatislao, okay, Ma'am
Ma'am
June,
Jenny.
Ma'am Joy Limshaco, and we have here Vice Mayor Jing Tabuhara Soriano. And may we also invite Dr. Orbisido if she's okay. All right, so I guess we are ready for our photo opportunity. In my count, three, two, one. Please smile. Okay, and let's do the avance negrense sign like so. Thank you. In my count, yes, three,
Ma'am Jenny.
three. Mom Jenny, is she here? Are
Yeah,
we calling?
she's
Okay,
here.
right. So in my count, please do avance. Three, two, one. Great. Again, let us give a
Thank
big,
you,
big
CJ.
virtual. Let's do the stop. Yeah,
Stop wow.
stop bow. Okay. All
Paano
right.
ba ito? Yan.
Okay, that's good. In my count, three, two, one. Stop violence against women and their children. Let us give a virtual round of applause to our keynote speaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you,
day.
CJ
God
Good
Sereno.
bless all of
day.
you.
Good
God
day.
bless
God
you.
God
bless.
bless you.
Keep
Bye-bye
safe.
po. Thank you.
Keep safe.
Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.